Good evening folks, and welcome to Sonofdel's live vlog on March the 16th. It is 7:10. Now coming up on tonight's vlog, I've got some cool stuff really. I've got an unboxing, but it's not a usual monthly unboxing. This is actually a mega unbox. Now this box costs £40. Now the beauty of it is I haven't even opened it yet, so you're going to see the contents almost as the same time as I do, so any surprise on my face will be genuine. I've also got a TV series review of The Darling Buds of May, which is a fantastic series, and I'll tell you more about that later. I've also got a book review of Christopher Ransom, The People Next Door, which is a horror fiction novel. That's coming up, and a little bit of a talk about men's mental health, as well as letting you know what I've been up to in the last couple of weeks since I last did a vlog. So first of all, I'll do a review of The Darling Buds of May. Now, for any frequent watcher of TV in the 80s and 90s, David Jason was very, very rarely off our screens, and he was in, obviously, the two most famous are, I've got to get my teeth in again, Only Fools and Horses, and of course he was in A Touch of Frost. Now, one of the series he was in, which was quite overlooked, was The Darling Buds of May. Now, The Darling Buds of May is based on the novels by H.E. Bates, and it centres on the Larkin family. Now, it's set in 1950s Kent, so the war's only just ended, and it's basically about a family called the Larkins. Now, Pop Larkin is played by David Jason, Ma Larkin is played by Pam Ferris, the brilliant Pam Ferris, and into this mix comes a I'll have to call him unwary. He didn't know what he was letting himself in for, but he's played by Philip Franks, and he is basically, his name is Cedric Charlton, but he ends up with the name Charlie, and he is basically a man from the Inland Revenue, or from the tax office should I say, who's coming to make sure Pop Larkin files his taxes, and he ends up staying with them, and he ends up marrying their eldest daughter, which is Mariette, who's played by the equally brilliant Catherine Zeta-Jones. Now, the good thing about this series is it's a feel-good series. It's one of those series that makes you enjoy life. It makes you realise, you know, that life can be fun. You don't need to have hard-hitting, gritty drama on TV to make it watchable. You get a feeling when this was done that you knew when this was going to be on, and it was basically Sunday evening television. I think it was on about 7:45 on a Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken. And every episode ends well. You know, there's no bad endings to it, there's no cliffhangers, there's nobody hanging off the end of a cliff, you know, none of this sort of stuff, nobody going to get run over by a bus, or nobody gets impaled on any farm machinery, nothing like that. It's all feel-good stuff, and there are a couple of dramatic moments in it, but nothing that would make you, you know, think this is a drama. It is more a comedy drama, and it's a really, really good series. It ran for, have I got this right now, how many years was it? I think it might have been 4 or 5 years. And David Jason, obviously, whilst he was filming this, was also in the middle of filming Only Fools and Horses. So he was a very busy man. Now, I just read A Dell of a Life, which is where Dell, I told you in my previous vlog, it's where he looks back at his life and the lessons that he's learned. And he mentioned that when he was filming The Darling Buds of May, he actually put a stone in weight on. And if you watch the series, you'll understand why, because a lot of the time they had a full English cooked breakfast every morning. And we're not talking a piece of sausage, a bit of bacon, hash brown. We're talking 3 fried eggs, 4 sausages, 5 pieces of bacon. You know, this was every morning they had this without fail. And of course, when they were filming it, every time they were like eating something and they had to bite a sausage and they were carried on talking, if they got the take wrong, they would have to start it again. So instead of eating 1 sausage, by the time the take had gone through, they'd have eaten 4. And you can understand why he put a stone on. Now, like I say, Pop Larkin, played by David Jason, is a really happy-go-lucky character. He runs the farm, home farm, with his, you think it's his wife, but it isn't his wife, because he isn't actually married to Pam Ferris in it, even though he has 6 children at the start with her, and then has another one, so they end up with 7 children. But he is one of these characters who literally looks on the bright side of life. He doesn't look at the bad side of anything. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always trying to do the right by people. He's a bit like a Del boy, but in the 50s. And the escapades and the things he gets into and everything, they're not things where you think, oh dear, this is bad, it's going to go wrong, because he always ends up on his feet. Whatever happens, even if he falls off a roof, just let's say he doesn't in the series, I'm just joking, but if he fell off a roof, he'd land on his feet and just roll into it and get up and walk away. It's that kind of series. Now, like I say, it's brilliantly acted. There's some of the scenes in it are fantastic, and there's a lot of young kids in it, because of course they've got 7 children altogether. Now, one of them's born in the series, obviously the baby's born in the series, but the rest have got some right cool names. You've got Primrose. Catherine Zeta-Jones actually plays a character called Mariette, and somebody asks her why she's called Mariette, because it's a really strange name, and it's actually Marie Antoinette shortened to Mariette, so that's how they got her name. And the other children are named things like Zinnia and like I say, Primrose, and I can't remember the name of the other, because there's 2 twins, Zinnia and something, I think it's Petunia, but I'm not quite 100%. And basically, like I said, it's a really, really good series. It's well worth 8 out of 10. And if you want a feel-good series where you're not taxed, where you don't have to think there's going to be unnecessary violence or any swearing or nothing like that in it, because there's no swearing in it. It's a really, really good series, and he comes up with a catchphrase which it's a word you use, but he shortens it. Now, we say perfect when something's good. He actually takes the T off the end of it and says perfect. Everything is perfect. Now, they're not well educated, these people in this home farm. They're not well educated at all, and you can tell that because sometimes in the series somebody will say something which to you and me makes common sense but goes right over their heads because they do not understand. Now, the good thing about Charlie, Philip Franks' character, is he is educated. He is a man with a head on his shoulders, so he helps them as they help him, because literally his life is turned upside down from the minute he steps off the bus. This buzz thing, the minute he steps off that to try and get this tax form off Pop Larkin, you know, he from that minute on, he's not the same guy, and he ends up staying there. He ends up marrying Mariette, and they end up having a bungalow, and they end up having a baby together, and it's really, really good. And like I said, it's the darling buds of May, and I would definitely give it 8 out of 10. Now, as you've just seen, I've just given the Darling Buds of May 8 out of 10, and we've started on another comedy series now. It's a series from 1979, and it's called Only When I Laugh, and I'll be doing a review of that after we've watched it all. We've only watched 1 series so far, and there are 4 series of it, so it's just one of your half-hour comedies that used to be used to be Yorkshire television. That's how old it is. Now, what can I say? What have I been up to? I haven't actually been up to that much. I've done some jigsaws, but since I last spoke to you, we've had the 4th of March and we've had the 14th of March. Now, to you, the 14th of March might have some significance to you, but the 4th won't. The 4th of March would have been my mum's birthday. It would have been her 72nd birthday. Now, anybody who knows me and who knows me vlog will know my mum passed away last year very unexpectedly. And it was very hard this year because on the 4th of March, I didn't feel right. I just thought that everything was a bit strange, because I'm used to, a couple of weeks beforehand, I'm used to getting phone calls off all the relatives asking me if I can order something out of my mum's wish list, or I can get her a jigsaw off Amazon or something like that, and we're all conversing, me and my 2 sisters, about what to get me mum and what we're going to do and all this, and it was completely missing this year, and it was very, very strange. Now, I just got over that part. I just got over that part of feeling a bit, you know, not quite with it, when along came the 14th of March, and the 14th of March was, of course, Mother's Day, and it was the first Mother's Day without me mum, and it was very, very bizarre again, because, again, I'm used to people ringing me and asking me if I can do this, do that, and us all sorting something out so we could get to see her and go up on the day and take her for a meal and all this, and it just wasn't there, and it was really bizarre. And it's, like I say, it's the first Mother's Day without me mum, and it really did hit me a bit. Now, the good thing is I have still got a mother-in-law who basically doesn't see me as a son-in-law. She sees me as a son, we get on so well. It's amazing. And obviously we got to talk to my mother-in-law, my mum Pam, which is obviously Deb's mum, on Mother's Day, and that made me feel better. That made me feel good, because we'd ordered a bunch of flowers and some chocolates in a gift thing to go to Deb's mum, and it was delivered on Mother's Day. So we got to talk to her and had a good chat for about an hour, and it was great, because that made me feel like, yes, it's a normal Mother's Day. So I really did appreciate that. I don't think I'd have coped really well if I hadn't have had that, to be honest with you. It would have been very surreal not to ring somebody and wish them Happy Mother's Day, you know. Now, I've got two other people who I always wish Happy Mother's Day to, and one of them is my neighbour Tony's mum, Janet Janet Dolby, and I always wish her Happy Mother's Day, because she's like a family member, to be honest with you. She doesn't see us as just friends, she sees us as family. She treats us like family. And the other one is my friend Sarah from down Leicester, who I've known for a very long time. Her mum Janet is somebody else who we call mum. So technically, yes, I've lost my mum, but I've got two others that I call mum, and my friend's mum as well. So it feels like I've got three, if you know what I mean, already still, which helps, trust me, because it did play a little bit on my anxiety levels, which I'll be talking about a bit more later, actually, because I'm going to talk about men's mental health, and I don't want anybody to say I'm being sexist, but I can't talk about women's mental health because I don't know anything about it. But I can talk about men's mental health, and I've been asked to mention a site, and it's a really good, helpful site, a Facebook page, which I'll tell you more about later. Now I'm going to do a book review, and it's a book called The People Next Door by Christopher Ransom. Now, over the last year or so, I've read a lot of books, I've read a lot of biographies, and mainly biographies, but I decided I fancied a change, and I'd got a couple of fiction novels. I've still got a few upstairs, and I thought, well, I'll give one of them a go. And I started reading The People Next Door by Christopher Ransom, because I read The Birthing House by him, and I thought it was fantastic. I really did. I really enjoyed The Birthing House, and I read this one with an open mind, because obviously I'd only read one book by the guy, so I thought, right, I'll give it a go. Now, it's good. Spoiler alert, by the way. So if you're gonna read the book, don't listen to what I'm gonna say now. Just skip through it. The spoiler alert. The People Next Door is basically about, the best way to describe it is a family that are not a family. They're not what they seem. They think they're what they seem themselves. They even think they are what they seem. But what they don't realise is they're suppressing something which happened to them before the book begins, if you like. Now, all the way through this book, they basically are a family. There's the husband Mick, the wife Amy, and the children. And Briella is the young child. And I'm trying to think what the boy's name is. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of his name. Anyway, Kyle, that's it, Kyle. The boy's named Kyle, the son's named Kyle. Now, Briella is a child who's about 9. I think she's 9 in it, and she's got weird tendencies. She can have outbursts and attacks and all sorts of stuff. She sees things that aren't there and all sorts. And the son Kyle, he is basically your average teenager, you know, can't be arsed, whatever, doesn't matter. And Mick, the part Mick Nash, he's actually a restaurant owner, a restaurateur, and his wife Amy is a housewife at home sort of thing. Now, all the way through, it's about the people who move in next door, called the Renders. And you think, going all the way through it, that these people are what this book is about. But with a twist right at the end, like I said, this is a spoiler alert, so you don't really want to, if you don't want to read the book, that's fair enough. But the spoiler alert is all the murders and stuff that take place, and all the gruesome stuff that takes place, it's actually the main family that were doing it. It's Mick, it's Amy, it's Kyle. You know, they're all involved in it up to the neck, and they don't realise until there's a revelation right near the end, when they suddenly realise that they aren't who they think they are. It's a bizarre concept, and it's a very long book, And I will admit to getting a bit lost halfway through, not knowing where I was in the book and who was talking and who wasn't. It's a bit misleading, but giving all that into account, I would still give it 6 out of 10. The twist's really good at the end and how it's set up and everything. And the good thing I like about it is it hasn't got one of these nicey American hero saves the day and they all live happily ever after. It hasn't got that kind of ending. It's got a very realistic ending. And when I was reading it, up to a certain point, I didn't think it was going to be very good. It was getting a bit boring and a bit laid down and a bit, you know, every so often there'd be some sort of gruesome murder, but in between there'd just be 40 pages of boredom. You know, there'd just be, oh, Amy did this and Mick did this and Amy and Mick. And I never realised until when you get right near the end that all the incidents that are mentioned throughout the book are actually pertinent to the story. And when you get to the end, you realise how it all fits in and makes sense. So really, it's one of those stories that you've got to get through to the end of. Don't give up on it, because if you're halfway through and you suddenly think this is boring, it's important that you stick with it, if you're going to stick with it, right to the end. And then when you get to the end, you can make your mind up about it. But don't make your mind up when you're halfway through, because like I say, it's a thick book. It's a good 400 odd pages, easy. And it's one of those that, you know, you've got to be a horror fan to appreciate the story. Otherwise you might think it's totally confusing and you don't get it and it doesn't make sense, and because there's a few stories going on at the same time, but they're all linked, and it's only at the end that you find out why they're linked and how they're linked. So yeah, it's Christopher Ransom, it's The People Next Door, and I would give it 6 out of 10. Now, before I get on to my unboxing, which is something I'm looking forward to, because like I said, I still haven't opened it yet, I just wanted to say, everybody knows I do jigsaws, and they know I do 1,000-piece jigsaws, and that's usually what I stick to. And I know that if I see a jigsaw that jumps out at me, I will get it no matter what's on the front of it. And I was looking through the other day on Amazon, and I was looking for a company called Hey Puzzles, H-E-Y-E. Now, they usually come in triangle boxes. I'm not joking, they come in triangle boxes. That's what's unique about them. And they're usually 1,000-piece. And while I was scanning through, I saw a couple of jigsaws by them that weren't in triangle boxes, because I've ordered some that are in triangle. Don't get me wrong, they're all in my wish list. I've got loads of them, but there was 2 or 3 different sorts. Now, the first one I saw was basically, it's like a cartoon caricature jigsaw, but everything on it is to do with Tim Burton films. Everything on there is to do with Tim Burton films. So you've got things like The Headless Horseman, you've got Willy Wonka on there, you've got Mars Attacks on there, you've got The Corpse Bride, you know, and all this sort of stuff. They're all on there with little pictures, and there's even him hidden on it somewhere. You've got to find the director, Tim Burton. Now, I thought this was brilliant, and I saw it was only $12.99, so I thought, oh, I'll have that. I'll have that, because Deb wanted to know what I wanted for our anniversary, because on the 25th of March we've been married for 7 years, and it's gone really quick. And anyway, so she told me, you know, get yourself a few jigsaws if that's what you want. So the second one I got was exactly the same sort of jigsaw, only this one is all the films of Steven Spielberg. So I'm going to have these 2 1,000-piece jigsaws. So anyway, I thought, right, great, fantastic, brilliant jigsaws. And I carried on looking, and there was a 2,000-piece jigsaw that literally jumped off the screen at me. Now, I love jigsaws with a lot of information on them, with a lot of factual stuff. You've seen some of the jigsaws I've done before, whether they've been on the human body or the solar system or chemical elements or whatever, you know. And this particular jigsaw, this 2,000-piece jigsaw, is all about pirates. And I don't mean Johnny Depp type pirates, I mean the history of pirates. It's a world map of the pirate routes, and it's also got famous pirates all the way around the outside, and a big sort of graphic in the bottom left corner of a proper pirate with the, you know, the pistol drawn and the cap and the eye patch and all that sort of stuff. It's a really good jigsaw. Now, when I get them, because I'm waiting for them to come, I will actually show them you. But I'm going to brave doing a 2,000-piece jigsaw, and I haven't done a 2,000-piece jigsaw before. I've only done 1,500 pieces, so it's going to be a big challenge, because the last 2,000-piece jigsaw I had was bought for me by my late father, and I think he must have thought he was taking the mickey out of me or something, because he bought me a 2,000-piece jigsaw, and this 2,000-piece jigsaw consisted of about 2 inches of sea, and the rest of it was blue sky and a boat with lots of white sails on it, and I mean pure white sails. Literally 2,000 pieces of this. And I was at the age I was at the time he bought it me, which was about 10. There was no way I was going to get that jigsaw done, because I wouldn't have had the concentration to do a 2,000-piece jigsaw of white sails and blue sky. I'd probably do it now if I was forced to do it, but it's still not something I'd pick up and do. It's a 2,000-piece jigsaw. I don't do 2,000-piece jigsaws as a rule. Just going to have a drink of water, hold on a minute. So yeah, it's been a quiet couple of weeks. Like I said, there's not been a lot going on. The weather's improving a bit. We've started getting a few warmer temperatures, so we won't be long before we're sitting out on the decking, in which case I'll be doing some footage out there. And obviously I know the restrictions are being lifted, but not with us. We're not lifting the restrictions. Me and Deb are of the understanding that when we are ready to go out, when we are ready to go to places, we will go. We're not going to be told, and we're not going to like jump every time there's a restriction lifted, because we don't know how this is all going to go, this lifting of restrictions. Because at the end of the day, it's like rolling a dice. It's either going to come up odd, everything works out, or even it doesn't work out. There's only 2 ways it's going to go. And if it does work out, fantastic, I'm over the moon, and when I'm ready to, I'll be ready to go out and do normal stuff. But until that time, I am quite happy staying in my house, having our shopping delivered, getting everything done in the house, and staying in the house. Not socialising, not having people round, just talking to people over the back fence. That's fine, don't mind doing that. Won't have them close to me, you know. Because I keep getting asked if am I going to have this vaccine. Now I'll tell you 2 reasons why that's putting me off. The first one is I have got to make my way to somewhere to have the vaccine. Now I am not going to travel in anybody else's car, because obviously that's me risking them risking me. I am not going by public transport for love nor money, and I'm certainly not walking, because it's about 6 miles away, and I can't walk 6 miles on a good day. With CMT and the conditions I've got, I can't do a walk of 6 miles. It's impossible. After about half a mile, even with a stick, I am out. I can't walk any further. That's my legs done. I can't do anything about it. So that's the first reason. The second reason is people keep saying, oh, you know, you can take it, it's just a prick in the arm, and then you might be sick for a day or 2 and then you're fine. But I take lots of medication, from metrazapine for my anxiety and my depression. I take omeprazole for my stomach. I take levothyroxine for my thyroid, and I take tramadol for the pain. Now I do not know how them 4 little items are going to react with this vaccine. Nobody can tell me how they're going to react, because what are the odds of 2 people having the same medication, the same exact medication, 2 people? The chances are 1 billion to 1. So until I feel safe in myself and trusting of this vaccine, I aren't going anywhere near it. Now I've just seen a story actually not long ago, about 2 hours ago, saying that some of the countries have withdrawn the AstraZeneca vaccine, the one that everybody's raving about, because apparently it can cause clotting of the blood. And I think it's something like France, Germany and somewhere else have pulled it completely, because they said it has got bad side effects, and a lot of people are coming down with clotting and stuff. Now I'm not saying that in this country nobody's come down with it, because we don't know, and I'm pretty sure that if people did come down with it, the government would find a way to hush it up. Because the one thing they don't want people doing is panicking that this vaccine is going to be worse basically than coronavirus. Because obviously if you get clotting of the blood, and one of those clots decides to go towards your heart, or even worse, you know, say, well, it can't get much worse, can it, your heart, then you're not going to want a blood clot floating around your body, are you? You're not going to want that, because that can kill you. So you're going to be wary of, should I take the vaccine and risk a blood clot, or should I not take the vaccine and have whatever chance it is of catching COVID? They are 2 balancing scales they are, and I'm not quite sure, to be perfectly honest, until they've had more results and they've had more tests and stuff and they've got more facts and figures, whether it would be safe or not. So them are the reasons, in case anybody's wondering why I haven't had the vaccine yet. Anyway, coming up, I'm going to use this right near the end this time. It is actually the box, the Megabox. It's £40 and it's from Zavvi. Right, now we have it. Here we have one box, and as you can see, it's still sealed. Still got the sellotape on. I'm not going to even. It didn't even open at the bottom. Look, it's still sealed. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a pair of scissors, and you're going to see everything in this at the same time as me. Now, there's 10 items in this box, and it cost me £40. Now, the ironic thing is, I ordered it about 4 months ago. Maybe 6 months ago actually, so it's taken a while to get here because obviously they've been filling it up with pop with bits. So you are going to be as surprised as I am. Obviously there'll be packaging in it, I'm expecting. Right, let's see what we're going to get, shall we? I will show you as I get them out because I don't even know. I'm not looking, as you can tell. Right, the first item, piece of cardboard, is a... Oh, that's rather cool. It's a Star Trek case. It's a tin case, and it's basically for putting graphic novels in. Now that's ideal, because the problem you've got with graphic novels sometimes is they get creased and the corners get edged up and stuff. So I'm quite into that. That's the first item, and it's a Star Trek, as you can see, graphic novel collection. It's not got the novels in them, obviously, it's empty. So that's the first item. The second item, oh, we're going Star Trek again, I think. Oh yeah, there you go. It's actually a print, an art print of, can you see that? A generation's final journey begins. Star Trek Nemesis. That was obviously the poster that was out before Star Trek Nemesis came out, telling you about the film. That's the second item. Third item. Oh, I need a journal. Whoa, I need a journal. I want a journal so that I can start writing down everything I do. And I've now got a, whoops, I'll bring it into the light, a Star Wars cross journal, and you can see it's quite thick. It's yeah, I like it actually. It's got a leatherette cover as well, which is fantastic. 100 GSM acid free paper, expandable inner pocket, full size journal with 160 lined pages and exclusive jot zone. That's fantastic for me because I need a journal, and there's a journal. Star Wars. Obviously it's got a little C3PO there in the middle. So that's the third item. Fourth item. I love it when they do this. I've actually got a set of these already, so somebody's going to get a bargain. Because what I'm doing, by the way, once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I am making a massive box of equipment. Massive box of stuff, figures and stuff that I've got duplicates of. And now I find I've got a duplicate set of these. Now these are cards, fact and figure cards, right? And they are on, I know what they're on, Stingray, let me get this right, Stingray, Captain Scarlet and Thunderbirds. And they are basically sets of cards with facts and figures on, so that you can literally do did you know. You could have them as like Trivial Pursuit ones, you know, if you did like TV and film, you could ask the questions what are on the back of these things. So that's a set, a full set that is. Look, as you can see, there's tons of them. There's loads of them in there. That's a full set of cards. So that's the fourth item. Fifth item. Onto the figures now. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, actually. Another Star Trek figure. This one is, I can tell you in a minute. Actually, I don't know what it is. You might be able to tell me if you're a Star Trek fan. As you can see, if I hold it like that and then turn it, looks like some sort of ship or something, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that one and find out what that is. Well, that's the 5th item. 6th item. Gamerverse Spider-Man. It's a Funko Pop and it's Miles Morales from Gamerverse. Spider-Man there, look, number 397, Miles Morales. We have another Funko Pop, and this one is from Captain Marvel, and it is Maria Rambeau. As you can see, Maria Rambeau, and that is from Captain Marvel. It's another Funko Pop. Oh, we've got some good stuff here, folks. Another Funko Pop. This one is from Captain Marvel as well, and this is Yon-Rogg. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I don't really know this because I haven't seen the film yet of Captain Marvel. I've got it, but I haven't seen it. That's Yon-Rogg, Captain Marvel, and it's number, let me get it right, 429, that is. So that's number 8. Number 9. Oh, I've got this twice now, so this will be in the bonus box as well. I only had this either last month or the month before, and it's a Qfig of Cyclops. I think I had it last month. I think I showed it on my last unboxing. So I've got 2 of them now. Worth getting me up to 1,000 subscribers. If you know anybody who'd like to subscribe, tell them about it. Tell them about the vlog. And if they're in the UK, tell them. I'll have to do it for the UK because I don't know how much it would cost to send anything abroad, but I will be putting together a mega box of all my duplicates once I reach 1,000 subscribers. So any help appreciated. And the last figure is another Qfig. Whoa. This I haven't got, mate. This I haven't got, and this is a cracker. Can you see that if I hold it like that? Can you see it? It's Venom. It's actually a Qfig of Venom, and if I tip it, is it that way? Yes, you can see he's actually on the wall, and he's coming off the wall. How cool is that? That's Venom. Wow, I like that one myself. Ooh, another Qfig. So all that lot, now bear in mind Funko Pops are usually about £12–13 each, which means 3 Funko Pops is like £13, that's £40 on their own. And I've got 3 Funko Pops, 2 Qfigs, a journal, a tin, a Star Trek figure, a set of cards and a print for £39.99. So basically I've got 7 items for free after the £40 been paid. So it's not a bad box actually. I'm quite happy with that because it's got a few figures in it. See, it's got a Qfig of Venom. I'll put them back in. Qfig of Venom. A Qfig of Cyclops. Oh, right. A Funko Pop of Captain Marvel, Yon-Rogg. A Funko Pop of Captain Marvel, Maria Rambeau. Another Funko Pop, Spider-Man Gamerverse, Miles Morales. I've still got to find out what that is, but it's obviously from Star Trek. Somebody out there is probably shouting at me now saying it's this, it's this. I don't really know that much about Star Trek, but that is a Star Trek thing, and it looks to me like some sort of like spaceship or something, because looking at the bottom of it there, it looks like it's the end of something. So I'll find out what that is. So that's one. I've also got the set of cards, and trust me, there's a lot of them. As you can see from the side, there's a lot of cards there, and they are definitely Stingray, Captain Scarlet and Thunderbirds. I know because I've had them already. This I'm absolutely over the moon with, 100%. A journal. Star Wars journal, not just a notepad, a proper journal. As you can see, it's a proper journal, that is, it's not a notepad. So it's leatherette as well, so it's a nice sturdy journal, that, so I'm over the moon with that part. That's well good. A print, you can never have too many prints, always find a frame for a print. Star Trek Nemesis, a generation's final journey begins. Anybody who's seen Nemesis will know what that's referring to. And then this, which I will definitely be using because I've got some graphic novels. The Star Trek graphic novel collection tin. And just to prove there's nothing in it. There you go, empty tin. But it is ideal for putting graphic novels in, and it keeps them safe, stops them getting battered about, and stops them getting curled up or anything spilt on them, because once they're in the tin, they should be fairly safe. So yeah, all that lot, $39.99. Once again, I'll leave the details for Zavvi at the end of this video, because I've got a little extra video that shows you all about Zavvi and how much the stuff is. But bear in mind, this wasn't from a normal Z box, this was a Megabox for £40, and there must be £90 or £100 worth of stuff in there, I would say. Good day. Now, a lot of people know that I have had problems in the past with mental health issues, all stemming from when I was a child and I used to get bullied at school, and it went on to when I was married the first time and I was a victim of domestic abuse. Now, yes, I know a lot of people don't really believe that a man can be abused in a relationship by a woman. They seem to think that it's always got to be the man who's doing the abusing, but I can tell you that it's not. Now, a few weeks ago, after I'd done my vlog, a good friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, who was almost like a brother to me, to be perfectly honest with you, named Ian Burgess, got in touch with me and asked me if I'd be prepared to mention a web page and Facebook page that supported men's mental health issues. Now, I said I'd be absolutely over the moon, to be honest with you, because it's something that I feel very strongly about. It's something we don't deal with enough and we don't talk about enough. And this group is for men's mental health problems, and it's actually called Let's Speak Men's Mental Health. That's what the actual thing is, and it was done by a guy called Jack Lucas, and he started this page, this thing, because basically a lot of men out there go through a lot of turmoil, and this is just addressing men, by the way. I can't really say anything about women's because I don't know that much about it, but men do suffer badly with mental health problems. The biggest suicidal rate is amongst men. They don't talk about it like they should talk about it. I've always been one of these people who've thought that speaking about something to people who understand and who are willing to listen is a big help. Because if you're just facing things on your own and you think there's nobody who can help you, you're wrong. You're really wrong, especially in this day and age. You see, when I was growing up and I got bullied, I could escape it by going home. When I finished school, I went home, and bullying stops until I go to school the next day. The difference being now, it doesn't stop. Bullying follows you every minute of the day, because you're always either connected to the internet and somebody can bully you online, or you can be in a relationship now because you're an adult and they'll bully you even more. You can be in a relationship and somebody can treat you like rubbish. Now, abuse doesn't always have to be physical. I was a victim of physical and mental abuse when I was married first, so I can talk about it and I know what I'm talking about. It isn't something that I would want anybody to go through, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not a nice feeling. It's very degrading. I was driven to the brink of suicide a few times, and I know a few of my friends who have gone through similar things. A couple of people I know who suffer with mental health issues have got real problems at the moment, and they need somebody to talk to. They need to get it off their chest. Now, this group is ideal. It's absolutely fantastic. I've been on there, and some of the stuff I've read on there, it makes me put my troubles into perspective, because now I suffer with anxiety and I do have a modicum of depression, but not much. I basically only have days when things get on top of me, and things like memories and dates of memories and dates of commemorating memories. Them are the sort of thing that get to me now, because now I'm happily married, absolutely happily married to a woman who treats me like God, basically. She treats me like I walk on water. She doesn't put me down. She doesn't physically abuse me. She doesn't mentally abuse me. She doesn't make me feel small. She doesn't have a go at me because of my disabilities. Because as well as, obviously people know, as well as having mental health issues and anxiety, I also suffer with CMT, which stands for Charcot-Marie Tooth, and it's basically a condition that's got worse as I've got older. It now means that I can't stand for too long, I can't balance properly, I have to have a stick. My gripping of things and holding things is very, very dodgy, shall we say. I've had to give up so much in my life, everything from physical sports like football and cricket. I've also had to now give up playing things like snooker and darts because I can't do them no more. My body won't allow me to do them no more. The pain it puts me through is ridiculous. Now, I'm not going to talk about me here, I'm talking about other people, because if you go onto this group, and I'll put a link, you'll be able to see it now, I'll put it on the screen now, and this is the link to the page. If you're a man and you've got problems, and you want to talk about your problems but you don't know who will listen, I highly recommend this page. Now, my friend, like I said, Ian Burgess, he is one of these people who was always, when I was younger, always the laugh of the class. He was an absolute comic. Me and him together were like Laurel and Hardy. We literally ripped everything apart. We made everything a joke. We were always telling jokes, falling over, doing stupid stuff, making everybody laugh. And as most people will know who suffer with mental health issues, it's a curtain. It's a curtain that you drop over yourself to make everybody not see you. You basically hide behind this curtain and let them just see. They just hear the jokes, they hear the humour. They don't know you deep inside, and you mask it. You mask it completely. You wear this mask on all the time that's always there, but you know it's a mask. And if you know it's a mask, you're dealing with the problem. If you think that's a normal thing, then you need to get help, because men will listen to men. It might not think, oh, you know, he won't listen to me because he'll think I'm a wimp or whatever like that. If he's a good friend, if he's a good male friend, he will listen to everything you've got to say, and he won't judge you, and he won't belittle you. If he does, he's not a friend. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry, but it's as simple as that. If any of my friends had belittled me or put me down or laughed at me or anything like that when I finished my first marriage and then told them why I'd finished it, if any of that, then they wouldn't be my friends no more. I couldn't have anybody like that in my life. You don't need negativity. This group gives you positivity. You can talk to people and they don't judge you. You can put your feelings on a screen, get it out your system. Every word for word, you can put it down on there. Everything from, like I said, domestic violence, racial discrimination, disability discrimination. It's all on this thing, because mental health is a massive thing. It's not just, oh, it's because he's a nutter. Like a lot of people used to say, oh, he's a nutter, he's a nutter. There's more to it. You're not a nutter. You're dealing with mental health issues. And it's recognised that it's a mental health issue. And it can be, like I said, it can be anything from anxiety to simple low depression, you know, as in feeling blue for a lot of the time. But then again, you've got the other side of that, where you could be suicidal all the time, where you could think, what's the point of me being alive? This group helps you to be yourself. You don't have to hide, you don't have to put the mask on. You can take the mask off, the mask can be thrown away as you log into this site, and you just literally go on there, read about other people's problems, and then put your own on there and watch people comment, watch people say things, but there's no negativity, there's no bad feeling, because every post that goes on there has to be vetted before it's put on. Now, I put my first post on there this morning. Now, it wasn't a post about me, it wasn't a post about my life, my mental health. It was a post, basically it was a poem, and it was about how I deal with anxiety and how people shouldn't judge me for being how I am. I mean, I'm not proud of how I am, I'm not happy how I am. That, like, if there's too many people around, I have to go out the room. If we're going past a shop and it's packed, I have to walk past it, I can't go in that shop. That's my anxiety. I can't be around too many people. I used to be the life and soul of the party. I used to be a complete fool. People used to love me going to parties because I'd always make everybody laugh. And now I can't do it. Now I cannot do it. I go to a party and I don't feel part of it. I'm lost. I sit there, I'll have a bit of something to eat maybe, but I can't talk, I can't join in. Even my own sister's wedding a couple of years ago, I didn't feel like I was there at all. I was sitting at the corner. I had to stand outside most of the time. I just could not connect with anything at all. And I did feel like I was lost. I felt like, you know, I shouldn't have been there. I mean, nobody made me feel like that, don't get me wrong. Everybody was so nice and everything, and how are you, JC, you alright, what you do? Great, fantastic. You know, my cousin Wendy, she was chatting to me for ages and everything, not judging me or nothing, but she understood. She understood. Because I've got family members that have had mental health issues, anxiety, stress, depression. I've got family members that have had that, and I'm not ashamed to say it, because it's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of at all. What would I rather? Would I rather somebody come up to me and say they've got mental health issues and they can't, you know, they're feeling suicidal, or would I rather them come up to me and say they've just slit somebody's throat and dumped the body in the river? I know what I'd rather have, because I can help them. Not help them as in I'm not a psychiatrist, I can't do that, but I will listen to them. Even though I've got my own problems, I will still listen to others. It doesn't shut me off, it doesn't make me a blank canvas as if to say, right, that's it, you can't get past him, he's just staying there, he's just a brick wall. No, I will listen to people. I've always been able to do it. I've always been able to listen to people. They've always been able to tell me all their problems. All the way from when I was first working at 16, all the way through till, well, now. People still tell me their problems. They still talk to me. And I love it, because at the end of the day, if they feel that they can talk to me, then that makes me feel good. It makes me feel useful. Because I know they'll listen to me when if I need them. And like I said, check out this site. You've seen the webpage below, and I'll put a link to it underneath my vlog. But that's the last word for today, really. It was just basically being aware of mental health issues. It's a massive thing, it really is. But check out this website, check out the links and everything, and if you can make friends on there, or just talk, or just be yourself, because you're anonymous when you're on there, so you don't have to think, oh, you know, such and such knows me from down the road or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're all men. We're all, you know, we're all there for each other. We're all brothers. I don't care whether you're black, white, green, yellow, orange or pink. You're still a brother, you know. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go, and I'll do another vlog soon, but I'm just going to put on the end of here all the information about Zavvi. So there's another little video coming up all about Zavvi. For those of you that are interested in my unboxings, they come from a company called Zavvi, which is zavvi.co.uk. I'll put the details up in a second. And the first box is called a Z-Box subscription. Now you can choose how you want to have a Z-Box subscription. You can have a one-off. I think you can have a 3-month, a 6-month and a 12-month. And if you have a 12-month, it only works out at £17 a box. Now £17 for about £50–60 worth of stuff to me is a good deal. And the other box is called a Threads box, and that's a separate subscription, and again you can subscribe singly or for a year, and if you do it for a year it only works out at, I'm pretty sure it's £7.99 a month, and for that you get a t-shirt and either a graphic novel, a book or a comics to the value of. So if you're interested in them, like I say, the information's here on the screen, so all you got to do is go onto the websites and have fun, enjoy. Bye for now, you all take care.